What if one invention changed the way we live overnight? Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing the world you knew was completely transformed by a technology so advanced, so revolutionary, that it reshaped everything from how we travel, work, and even connect with each other. This is exactly the moment Elon Musk has thrust us into. On a chilly October evening, the tech world was shaken by a surprise announcement from Elon Musk himself. Without warning, the visionary billionaire stepped onto a stage bathed in blue lights, a new device covered by a sleek black cloth beside him. The room buzzed with anticipation as journalists, scientists, and industry leaders held their breath. What was behind the curtain was not just another electric car or space rocket. It was something entirely new, something that promised to redefine human potential. The murmurs quickly escalated into a frenzy. Reporters scrambled to capture every word as Elon unveiled his latest creation. A device capable of interfacing directly with the human brain, enabling seamless communication between mind and machine. The implications were staggering. Would this invention be the dawn of a new era, or would it spark controversy and fear? Social media exploded with debate. Some hailed it as the next leap in human evolution, while others feared loss of privacy and control. Investors scrambled to stake their claims, while governments watched warily. Yet amidst the chaos, one question lingered: how did Elon Musk get here? What drove him to risk so much on this unknown frontier? Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. This story might just spark a new beginning. What's one thing that always pushes you forward, even when things get tough? The stage was set for a journey filled with ambition, struggle, and discovery, a journey that would test not only Elon's genius but the very fabric of society itself. To understand the bold leap Elon Musk took with his new invention, it's essential to look back at the man behind the vision. Born in Pretoria, South Africa, Elon's childhood was a mix of brilliance and struggle. From an early age, he exhibited an insatiable curiosity and a relentless drive to understand how things worked. At just 10 years old, Elon taught himself computer programming and created his first video game, Blaster, selling it for $500. But his early life wasn't without hardship. His parents divorced when he was young, and Elon often described feeling isolated, a boy who didn't quite fit in with his peers. He faced bullying at school, which only seemed to fuel his desire to escape the ordinary and make an impact far beyond his hometown. Family dynamics played a complex role in shaping Elon. His father, Elon Musk, was a strict and sometimes difficult figure, while his mother, May Musk, a model and dietitian, encouraged his ambitious dreams. The contrast between their personalities created a push-pull effect that instilled both discipline and hope in young Elon. It was during his teenage years that Elon's mind began to stretch toward the cosmos. Fascinated by science fiction and inspired by the possibility of humanity reaching other planets, he dreamed of building rockets and changing the future. At 17, he moved to Canada to attend Queen's University, a decision driven by a desire to avoid mandatory military service in South Africa and to pursue broader opportunities. The transition was daunting. Elon grappled with loneliness, financial struggles, and cultural differences, yet his focus never wavered. After 2 years, he transferred to the University of Pennsylvania, where he earned degrees in both physics and economics. This combination of scientific knowledge and business acumen would become the foundation of his unique approach to innovation. Early in his career, Elon's ventures were marked by audacity and risk-taking. He co-founded Zip2, a city guide software company, which was sold for nearly $300 million. Then came X.com, an online payment company that later evolved into PayPal, revolutionizing how people transact online. Though these successes brought wealth, Elon's ambitions extended far beyond finance. He set his sights on space exploration with SpaceX, electric vehicles with Tesla, and sustainable energy with SolarCity. Each project reflected a facet of his broader mission, to push humanity forward and ensure its survival. But Elon's path has never been smooth. His ventures faced countless setbacks, from failed rocket launches to production nightmares and financial crises. Critics often labeled him reckless or overly optimistic. Behind the headlines, Elon endured intense personal sacrifices, including the dissolution of 2 marriages and the challenges of raising a large family under relentless public scrutiny. Yet through it all, his psychological resilience stood out. Elon often described his mindset as one of first principles thinking, breaking problems down to their most basic truths and rebuilding solutions from scratch. This approach allowed him to tackle challenges others deemed impossible. It also made him fiercely independent, sometimes difficult to work with, and driven by a deep-seated desire to make a meaningful difference. Relationships have been a cornerstone of Elon's journey. While his romantic life has been complex, his connections with colleagues and close friends reveal another side of him, loyal, passionate, and willing to inspire others toward a shared vision. People who have worked alongside Elon often speak of his intense energy and uncompromising standards, but also of moments when his vulnerability and humanity shine through. Understanding Elon's backstory helps explain why he would risk everything on a device that blurs the line between human and machine. It is not simply about technology, it is about pushing the limits of what it means to be human. It is a reflection of his lifelong quest to solve problems that seem insurmountable, fueled by a belief that progress depends on embracing discomfort, failure, and uncertainty. This chapter in Elon's life, marked by both triumph and turmoil, set the stage for his new creation. The same restless curiosity that led him to revolutionize industries now drives him to redefine the boundaries of consciousness itself. In the chapters ahead, we will witness how this vision unfolds, the obstacles he faces, and the emotional stakes that come with such a monumental endeavor. Elon Musk is not just a man with ideas, he is a symbol of relentless pursuit, a testament to how childhood dreams, personal struggles, and fierce determination can converge to create something truly groundbreaking. Every great invention begins with a spark, a moment where frustration meets inspiration. For Elon Musk, that moment came after years of witnessing the limits of current technology and imagining a future that was far more connected, efficient, and alive. The idea for his new creation wasn't born overnight but emerged from a persistent problem he kept encountering, the gap between human cognition and machine capability. Elon had long been fascinated by the potential of artificial intelligence and brain-computer interfaces, but existing attempts felt inadequate, clunky, or invasive. The technology was either too primitive or too dangerous for widespread use. Yet, Elon saw a future where humans and machines could communicate seamlessly, where thoughts could be transmitted as easily as text messages, and where disabilities could be overcome through direct neural connection. This wasn't science fiction anymore, it was the next frontier. One evening in his Tesla factory, after a long day of meetings and troubleshooting production lines, Elon found himself restless. His mind wasn't on cars or rockets but on the possibilities of unlocking the brain's true potential. What if there was a way to create a device that could safely interface with neurons, decode thoughts, and translate them into actions without bulky hardware or invasive surgery? What if this device could empower those with paralysis, enhance human intelligence, or even change how people interact on a fundamental level? Elon's thoughts were interrupted by his chief engineer, Sarah, who shared a breakthrough they'd made in neural signal decoding. This breakthrough was small, but for Elon, it was a giant leap. The seed of the new invention was planted. Over the following weeks, Elon gathered a small team of neuroscientists, engineers, and AI specialists. This team included longtime collaborators like Sarah and new talents drawn by Elon's magnetic vision. They held marathon brainstorming sessions, sketching ideas on whiteboards, debating the ethics and feasibility, and challenging every assumption. The atmosphere was electric. Elon encouraged radical thinking, pushing the team to think beyond traditional limits. They explored technologies like flexible electronics, wireless communication, and advanced machine learning algorithms that could interpret brain signals in real time. Early prototypes were rough, awkward headsets with wires, bulky batteries, and inconsistent results. The challenges seemed endless. Neural signals are notoriously difficult to interpret due to their complexity and variability. The human brain is an incredibly noisy environment, and isolating meaningful data without interference was like finding a whisper in a hurricane. The team experimented with different sensor materials, placement techniques, and signal processing methods. Each failure brought new insights, and Elon's leadership was relentless yet inspiring. He demanded progress but also gave space for creativity and learning. As weeks turned into months, the team faced skepticism not only from outside critics but also from within. Some questioned whether the goal was achievable or worth the risks. Funding pressures mounted as investors grew anxious. Elon himself felt the weight of these doubts but remained convinced that the breakthrough was near. He often quoted his favorite philosophy: "When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor." One key collaborator was Dr. Maya Patel, a neuroscientist whose work on neural plasticity became crucial in shaping the device's design. She argued that instead of trying to read exact thoughts, the device should focus on detecting patterns and intentions, which would allow for more reliable communication with the brain. This insight led to a shift in approach. The team began to develop algorithms that learn from individual users, adapting to their unique neural signatures over time. This personalized learning was a game-changer. During one late night, Elon and Maya tested the latest prototype on themselves. The device was a sleek headset with tiny sensors that gently rested on the scalp. The initial tests showed promise, simple commands translated into digital actions. It wasn't perfect, but it was the first step toward a future that had only existed in Elon's imagination. Beyond the technical challenges, the team also wrestled with ethical questions. What were the risks of hacking or privacy invasion? Could this technology be misused to manipulate thoughts? Elon insisted on building strong safeguards and transparency from the start. He envisioned a future where users controlled their own data, and the technology served to enhance freedom, not limit it. Meanwhile, the media began catching wind of Elon's secretive project. Rumors circulated about a brain-machine revolution coming soon. Speculation ranged from utopian possibilities to dystopian fears. Elon remained tight-lipped, revealing only tantalizing glimpses at carefully selected tech conferences. Public interest and skepticism grew in equal measure. Internally, the team celebrated small victories: a successful test translating thoughts into text messages, a prototype that allowed a paralyzed volunteer to control a robotic arm, a new algorithm that improved accuracy by 40%. Each milestone built momentum. Yet Elon knew the hardest part was still ahead. Making the device practical, affordable, and safe for everyday use. To do this, they needed to overcome engineering hurdles, regulatory barriers, and social acceptance. Elon's vision extended beyond medical applications. He imagined a world where humans could communicate telepathically, access the internet with their minds, and augment their intelligence with AI partners. He saw education, entertainment, and work transformed by this interface. But with great power came great responsibility. Elon's relentless drive pushed the team through long nights and tough debates. The pressure to innovate without compromising ethics was constant. As the project grew, Elon's personal life took a back seat. Friends noticed his growing intensity and occasional isolation. He confided in a close circle about the emotional toll of carrying the burden of such a groundbreaking endeavor. Yet his belief never wavered. "If we don't do this, someone else will," he said. "Better it be us, with the right values." The birth of this idea was not just a technological breakthrough, it was the convergence of Elon's past experiences, his psychological resilience, and his unyielding hope for the future. It was the moment when frustration with the status quo sparked a quest to redefine what it means to be human in a digital age. In the chapters that follow, the story will take you through the thrilling rise of this project, the conflicts, the breakthroughs, and the emotional journeys of the people who dared to dream alongside Elon Musk. This is the beginning of a story that promises to change everything we thought possible. With the new idea taking shape and early prototypes showing promise, the atmosphere within Elon Musk's project was electric yet charged with growing tension. The excitement of innovation was met by an undercurrent of doubt, both outside and inside the team. As news of the brain-machine interface spread through whispered rumors and carefully controlled leaks, public skepticism grew stronger. Experts in neuroscience and technology voiced concerns about the feasibility and safety of such a device. Some dismissed it as overambitious, a fantasy that even Elon Musk's genius couldn't realize. Headlines questioned if the technology could ever work, while others warned of ethical nightmares if it did. Investors began to express worry about the escalating costs and uncertain timelines. Internally, the pressures mounted as the team grappled with complex technical challenges that seemed to multiply rather than diminish. The human brain was proving to be an even more complicated puzzle than anyone had anticipated. Neural signals were inconsistent and varied greatly between individuals. Attempts to refine the sensor technology ran into hardware limitations, battery life issues, and signal interference. These obstacles delayed progress, frustrated engineers, and threatened the project's momentum. Elon's demanding leadership style came under strain. His expectation for rapid progress clashed with the slow, iterative nature of scientific discovery. Tensions flared during late-night meetings where deadlines were missed and tempers boiled over. Some team members began to question whether the vision was achievable or if they were chasing an illusion. Elon, however, refused to give in. He reminded the team of the stakes: if we don't push past these limits, we won't change the future. The pressure took a personal toll on Elon. Friends and family noticed his increasing isolation, his restless nights spent poring over data and designs. Media scrutiny intensified as journalists dug deeper, eager for a scoop on the project's progress, or its failure. A few leaks from anonymous sources within the company suggested internal discord, sparking further speculation. Meanwhile, outside forces added to the storm. Government regulators began to ask tough questions about the safety and privacy implications of a device that interfaces directly with the brain. Lobbyists representing established tech and medical industries voiced resistance, fearing disruption to their markets. Elon found himself navigating not just technical but political and social battles. One critical moment came during a highly anticipated public demonstration meant to showcase the device's capabilities. The event was to be Elon's chance to silence critics and reignite excitement. However, technical glitches plagued the prototype during the live test. Signals dropped, commands misfired, and the device failed to perform as expected. The audience's reaction was a mix of disappointment and disbelief. Headlines the next day ranged from "Tech Dream Falls Flat" to "Elon's Brain Interface, Hype or Hope." The setback dealt a blow to team morale and investor confidence. Internal blame games emerged, fracturing relationships that had once been strong. Elon faced criticism for pushing the team too hard, for promising too much too soon. Yet amid the turmoil, glimmers of hope appeared. Some team members doubled down on their efforts, inspired by Elon's unwavering commitment. Small successes in the lab hinted that the technology was still viable. Elon reached out to old allies and mentors for support and advice, seeking new perspectives to overcome obstacles. The project's narrative shifted from guaranteed triumph to a battle of resilience. In personal moments, Elon confided his fears of failure but also his belief that great breakthroughs often require navigating through storms of doubt and hardship. The rising conflict within the project reflected a universal truth about innovation: progress is never linear. It is messy, unpredictable, and full of setbacks. What separates visionaries from dreamers is the willingness to confront these conflicts head-on. Elon Musk's new creation was no exception. As the team faced technical failures, public skepticism, and internal divisions, the stakes grew higher. Failure could mean not just financial loss but damage to reputations and the loss of a once-in-a-generation opportunity. Yet the promise of success, a technology that could redefine human experience, kept the flame alive. The coming chapters will reveal how Elon and his team navigated this tumultuous period, balancing hope and despair, conflict and cooperation, as they pushed toward a breakthrough that few believed possible. This rising tension would set the stage for dramatic shifts that would challenge everything Elon Musk had built and believed in. The moment Elon Musk's project hit its lowest point, a new journey began, one that would test not only the limits of technology but the endurance and spirit of everyone involved. After the public demonstration's failure, the team retreated into a period of intense reflection and reinvention. Elon gathered his core collaborators for a series of brainstorming sessions held deep in the remote Nevada desert, away from the noise of media and office politics. Surrounded by the stark silence of the desert night and the endless expanse of stars above, the team sought clarity and focus. It was here that Elon proposed a radical shift. Instead of building a bulky headset, they would pursue a minimally invasive neural lace, an ultra-thin mesh that could be injected directly onto the brain's surface. This concept was revolutionary and terrifying. It promised unprecedented precision and seamless integration, but it also carried enormous risks, both technical and ethical. The idea sparked both excitement and fear among the team. The development of the neural lace would require groundbreaking advances in nanotechnology, biocompatible materials, and wireless power transmission. The team divided into specialized groups tackling each challenge. Engineers worked tirelessly on creating flexible, durable sensors small enough to avoid immune rejection. Neuroscientists mapped brain regions in meticulous detail to optimize implantation. AI experts developed adaptive algorithms to interpret complex neural signals in real time. Progress was slow and fraught with setbacks. Prototype after prototype failed under laboratory tests. Biocompatibility remained a major hurdle. The body's natural defenses often rejected early designs, causing inflammation or signal degradation. The pressure mounted as funding tightened and skeptics outside the company doubled down on their criticism. Elon's leadership took on a new intensity. He spent countless hours in the lab alongside his team, refusing to accept defeat. His belief in the mission was unwavering, but the toll was evident. Stress and exhaustion became daily companions. Despite this, moments of breakthrough emerged. After months of trial and error, the team successfully engineered a sensor made from a new graphene-based material that combined strength, flexibility, and biocompatibility. This material could conform to the brain's curves and remain stable over extended periods. With this innovation, the dream of a functional neural lace edged closer to reality. Next came the challenge of implantation. Elon collaborated with neurosurgeons who pioneered minimally invasive techniques. Together, they designed a procedure that could inject the lace through a tiny hole in the skull, minimizing risk and recovery time. The first human trials were scheduled with a group of volunteers, including individuals with severe paralysis eager for new solutions. Emotions ran high as the team prepared for the historic moment. Elon himself was deeply involved, balancing the excitement of progress with the responsibility of ensuring safety. The day of the first implantation was marked by intense focus and hope. In a sterile surgical suite, the neural lace was carefully injected, and the team monitored neural activity closely. Initial readings showed promising integration. The device began to pick up signals and translate them into commands for a robotic arm. For one volunteer, this meant the first movement they had made in years, a small but monumental victory. News of the successful implantation spread quickly, renewing public interest and investor confidence. Yet, Elon knew the journey was far from over. The device still faced challenges. Long-term stability, ethical concerns about privacy and autonomy, and the need for widespread acceptance. As the project moved into this new phase, Elon and his team committed to transparency and collaboration with regulatory bodies. They engaged ethicists, policymakers, and the public in discussions about the technology's implications. The journey was no longer just about engineering but about shaping the future relationship between humans and machines. The desert retreat and subsequent breakthroughs marked a turning point. The neural lace transformed from an abstract concept into a tangible reality. Elon Musk's vision was no longer just a dream, it was becoming the foundation of a new human experience. This chapter of the story captures the courage and resilience required to venture into uncharted territory, to face fears and doubts, and to push the boundaries of what is possible. The challenges ahead would be immense, but so too was the promise of a world transformed by this new creation. The breakthroughs with the neural lace brought hope, but they also unearthed unexpected emotional and ethical complexities that no one was fully prepared for. Just as Elon Musk and his team were celebrating the successful implantation and early control of robotic limbs, a profound revelation shook the entire project to its core. One of the first human trial participants, a young woman named Emma, who had been paralyzed from the neck down due to an accident, began exhibiting surprising neural activity that the algorithms initially misinterpreted. Rather than simply controlling the robotic arm, Emma's brain signals revealed memories and emotions resurfacing in ways that blurred the lines between technology and consciousness. As researchers delved deeper into the data, it became clear that the neural lace was not just reading motor commands, it was interfacing with the very essence of human thought and feeling. Emma reported vivid experiences. Recollections from childhood, dreams, even flashes of emotion, that seemed amplified by the device. For the first time, the team witnessed the neural interface tapping into layers of the mind that went beyond practical control to something far more profound. This discovery was exhilarating yet terrifying. Elon and his team realized that their invention had the potential to alter the very nature of human identity. The promise of enhanced communication and empowerment came with the risk of exposing the most intimate parts of a person's psyche to technology, and possibly others. This emotional climax was a turning point. Ethical questions, once theoretical, became urgent and personal. How much access should the device have to thoughts and memories? Could this technology inadvertently cause psychological harm? Who would control the data? The media quickly picked up on the story, framing it as a cautionary tale about the dangers of mind-reading technology. Public opinion was polarized. Some hailed the device as a miracle of modern science, others warned of dystopian futures where privacy no longer existed. Emma herself became a symbol of both hope and vulnerability. Her courage in participating in the trials inspired many, but her emotional struggles also underscored the heavy burden of pioneering such uncharted territory. Elon took these revelations seriously. He called for a pause in human trials to consult with ethicists, psychologists, and the wider scientific community. He understood that the technology's impact was not just mechanical but deeply human. The team worked to develop stronger safeguards, including advanced encryption and user-controlled data access. They also explored ways to allow users to control what parts of their brain signals were shared and when. Behind the scenes, Elon wrestled with his own feelings of responsibility. This was no longer just a technological challenge, it was a moral one. His lifelong quest to push boundaries now demanded a new kind of wisdom. At one critical meeting, Elon confided to his closest advisors that this project had changed him. He realized that progress must be balanced with compassion and respect for the human experience. The emotional climax extended beyond the lab into the hearts and minds of everyone involved. It exposed vulnerabilities, fears, and hopes in equal measure. Yet, through this turbulence, there was a renewed sense of purpose. The technology was not just about machines or data. It was about connecting people in ways previously unimaginable. Emma's journey became a beacon, reminding the team that at the core of innovation lies the human spirit. This chapter of the story captures the intense emotional stakes of Elon Musk's new creation, revealing that the greatest discoveries often come with profound challenges. The tension between hope and fear, advancement and ethics, science and soul, set the stage for the final chapters where resolution and reflection would bring new understanding to this groundbreaking journey. After the emotional upheaval surrounding Emma's experiences and the ethical questions that arose, Elon Musk and his team found themselves at a crossroads. The neural lace was no longer just a cutting-edge invention, it had become a symbol of the profound potential, and responsibility, that comes with merging human consciousness and technology. With public opinion divided and regulatory scrutiny intensifying, Elon knew the path forward required more than just engineering prowess. It required reflection, humility, and a renewed commitment to serve humanity. In the months following the pause on human trials, the team engaged in open dialogues with ethicists, neuroscientists, patients, and the public. They hosted forums and workshops, inviting voices from diverse backgrounds to discuss the implications of their technology. Elon participated actively, listening with an openness that surprised many who only knew him as a relentless innovator. These conversations deepened the project's mission beyond invention. The goal was no longer simply to create a neural interface but to build a technology grounded in trust, respect, and empathy. Gradually, the team developed a comprehensive framework that prioritized user autonomy, data privacy, and psychological well-being. They incorporated customizable controls that allowed users to decide which thoughts or emotions the device could access or share. Strong encryption and decentralized data storage were implemented to protect users from hacking or misuse. Meanwhile, advancements continued steadily. New versions of the neural lace were designed to be safer, more reliable, and easier to implant. Trials resumed with fully informed volunteers who felt empowered by the project's transparent ethics. These trials showed promising results. Participants regained abilities, communicated in new ways, and expressed increased connection with their environment. Emma herself became an advocate for the technology, sharing her story to inspire others while emphasizing the importance of ethical safeguards. Elon watched as the neural lace began transforming lives, reminding him of the core truth that motivated his vision: technology must enhance humanity, not diminish it. Personally, the project marked a turning point in Elon's life. The journey had tested his limits and forced him to confront the intersection of ambition and morality. He emerged with a deeper appreciation for the complexities of human experience and the delicate balance required to innovate responsibly. In interviews, Elon reflected on the lessons learned: progress isn't just about moving forward faster. It's about moving forward wisely. The story of Elon Musk's new creation culminates not with a dramatic finale but with a hopeful beginning. It is a story of persistence, courage, and growth, of technology and humanity intertwined. The neural lace represents a new chapter in human evolution, offering possibilities that challenge us to rethink what it means to be connected, to communicate, and to be ourselves. For readers, the takeaway is clear: life is full of surprises, but it is our capacity for love, empathy, and responsibility that will guide us through the unknown. Elon Musk's journey reminds us that even in the face of uncertainty, the human spirit's drive to innovate and connect can light the way. So as you consider this story, reflect on your own challenges and dreams. What's one thing that always pushes you forward, even when things get tough? The future is not written yet, it is created by each of us. And sometimes, it begins with a single idea, a spark of hope, and the courage to take the first step. After the successful resumption of human trials and the development of ethical safeguards, Elon Musk found himself reflecting on what the future might hold for the neural lace and related technologies. The device that once seemed like a distant dream was now a tangible tool capable of reshaping human capabilities. Yet, Elon knew this was just the beginning. The neural interface opened doors to possibilities far beyond restoring mobility or aiding communication for the disabled. It held potential to enhance memory, accelerate learning, and deepen empathy between people. This vision for expansion inspired Elon to assemble a new multidisciplinary team that included experts from psychology, education, communication, and artificial intelligence. The goal: to explore ways the neural lace could enrich human experience in everyday life. Early experiments focused on cognitive enhancement. Participants using updated versions of the neural lace reported improved focus, faster processing speeds, and the ability to recall complex information with greater ease. Elon saw this as a breakthrough not just for individuals but for society. Imagine a world where learning is accelerated, where language barriers dissolve, and creativity flows more freely. To test this, the team partnered with universities to conduct pilot programs where students used neural lace technology during study sessions. Results were promising, with participants showing marked improvement in comprehension and retention compared to control groups. But Elon also recognized the dangers of cognitive enhancement. Questions arose about fairness, accessibility, and potential misuse. To address these, the project maintained its commitment to ethics and transparency. Access to enhancements was designed to be equitable, with subsidies and grants aimed at underserved communities. Regulations were proposed to prevent coercion or unfair advantages in competitive environments. Beyond cognitive gains, the team explored the neural lace's ability to foster empathy. By transmitting emotional states between users, the technology enabled people to experience feelings more directly, bridging gaps of understanding that words often fail to close. Trials included couples therapy sessions where participants could share emotional feedback instantaneously, leading to breakthroughs in communication and connection. The implications for conflict resolution and social cohesion were profound. Elon envisioned a future where the neural lace could help heal societal divides by fostering empathy on a broad scale. As these experiments unfolded, Elon remained mindful of the project's origins and responsibilities. He frequently engaged with bioethicists and community leaders to guide development and public dialogue. He also emphasized that technology is a tool, its impact depends on how humanity chooses to use it. Meanwhile, technical challenges persisted. Scaling the device for mass production required breakthroughs in manufacturing and supply chain logistics. The team tackled these hurdles with a startup mindset, agile, iterative, and relentless. Partnerships with advanced materials companies and manufacturing firms accelerated progress. Elon's companies across different sectors, space, automotive, energy, offered valuable resources and expertise, integrating neural lace technology into broader visions of a connected future. The neural lace began to interface with other emerging technologies, including virtual and augmented reality platforms. This integration enabled users to interact with digital environments using thought alone, blurring the lines between physical and virtual worlds. Applications in education, entertainment, and professional training expanded rapidly. Elon's vision of a seamlessly connected human-machine symbiosis started to take shape. Yet, amid these exciting advancements, Elon never lost sight of the human element. He often visited trial participants and frontline developers, listening to their experiences and concerns. These stories grounded the project in reality and fueled Elon's determination to navigate this new frontier with care. One poignant moment came during a visit with a participant who described how the neural lace helped her reconnect with her daughter after years of estrangement. The device facilitated communication where words had failed, unlocking a path to healing and forgiveness. Stories like these reminded Elon of why he pursued this technology, to enhance connection, understanding, and ultimately, humanity itself. As Chapter 8 closes, Elon Musk stands at the threshold of a new horizon. The neural lace is no longer just a medical device or a tool for the disabled, it is evolving into a platform that could transform how humans think, feel, and relate. The journey ahead is vast and uncertain, filled with both promise and peril. Elon's challenge is to guide this transformation with wisdom, balancing innovation with empathy, power with responsibility. The question remains, how will humanity choose to wield this remarkable creation? What new futures will emerge when mind and machine become one? This chapter invites readers to imagine those futures and to consider their own role in shaping the unfolding story. The adventure of Elon Musk's new creation continues, propelled by curiosity, courage, and the enduring quest to push beyond limits. As Elon Musk's neural lace technology expanded into new realms of cognitive enhancement and emotional connectivity, unforeseen challenges began to emerge, testing the resilience of the project and the values at its core. What started as a scientific and humanitarian endeavor increasingly encountered resistance from multiple fronts, regulatory hurdles, social skepticism, and ideological debates, that complicated the path forward. Governments around the world faced mounting pressure to regulate neural interfaces more strictly. Concerns over privacy, data security, and the potential for misuse led to calls for tighter controls and comprehensive legislation. Lawmakers questioned how to define consent in the context of brain-machine communication, what protections were necessary to prevent unauthorized access to thoughts, and how to ensure equitable access without exacerbating social inequalities. In the United States, regulatory agencies demanded extensive clinical trials and transparency reports before granting approval for widespread commercial use. Elon Musk engaged directly with policymakers, advocating for balanced regulations that would protect users without stifling innovation. These discussions proved contentious, requiring diplomacy and compromise. Public skepticism also intensified as misinformation and fearmongering spread through social media and news outlets. Some factions portrayed the neural lace as a tool of surveillance and control, a dystopian mechanism that threatened free will and individual autonomy. Conspiracy theories flourished, linking the technology to sinister government agendas or corporate exploitation. Activists organized protests and campaigns calling for outright bans, warning of a future where thoughts could be hacked or manipulated. Elon and his team responded by ramping up educational outreach, hosting forums, and releasing transparent updates about safety measures and ethical safeguards. They worked to build public trust by engaging with communities, addressing concerns openly, and sharing real stories of positive impact. Internally, the rapid pace of innovation clashed with the complexity of these societal debates. The team grappled with how to balance technical development with social responsibility. Engineers and scientists found themselves navigating unfamiliar terrain of law, ethics, and public relations. This multidimensional challenge prompted Elon to expand the project's advisory board, bringing in experts from diverse fields, legal scholars, ethicists, sociologists, to help steer strategy. The company also launched a dedicated ethics committee tasked with ongoing assessment of risks and benefits, ensuring that every new feature aligned with core values. Beyond societal resistance, the technology itself faced unanticipated technical difficulties as it scaled. Neural lace devices needed to operate reliably across diverse populations with varying brain anatomies and conditions. Some users experienced side effects like headaches or mood fluctuations, prompting further research into optimizing interfaces and minimizing risks. Additionally, integrating the neural lace with other emerging technologies raised compatibility issues. Collaborations with AR/VR firms revealed that standardizing communication protocols was more complex than expected. Supply chain disruptions and material shortages slowed production, forcing the team to rethink manufacturing processes. These setbacks tested morale and patience. Elon's leadership style adapted accordingly. He emphasized resilience, open communication, and the importance of learning from failure. In private moments, Elon reflected on how these challenges echoed earlier obstacles but now carried higher stakes given the technology's reach. The project was no longer just about innovation, it was about navigating the turbulent interface between technology and society. One particularly difficult episode involved a data breach attempt that, although thwarted, underscored vulnerabilities and heightened concerns about cybersecurity. This incident reinforced the need for robust protection and proactive risk management. Elon personally led initiatives to strengthen defenses, including hiring top experts and investing in cutting-edge encryption. Throughout this period, the tension between hope and fear persisted. The potential benefits of the neural lace, to heal, connect, and empower, remained undeniable. Yet the path forward required not only technical breakthroughs but building a societal consensus and infrastructure capable of supporting such a paradigm shift. Elon frequently spoke about this balance in public appearances. Innovation isn't just about what we can do, but what we should do. As the chapter closes, Elon Musk and his team stand at a critical juncture. The neural lace's future depends on their ability to bridge divides, between technology and ethics, progress and caution, excitement and skepticism. This phase of the journey reveals that even the most visionary creations face resistance and complexity when they touch the deepest aspects of human life. It challenges everyone involved to rethink assumptions, embrace collaboration, and lead with both courage and humility. The story of Elon Musk's new creation continues, not as a simple tale of triumph, but as an evolving dialogue between humanity and its boldest ambitions. What will the next chapters hold? Only time and collective will can tell. As the Neural Lace project moved deeper into its complex phase of societal integration and technological refinement, Elon Musk and his team found themselves navigating a pivotal turning point marked by both remarkable breakthroughs and unexpected setbacks. This chapter reveals the intense push and pull that defines innovation at the frontier of human-machine symbiosis, illustrating how progress is often nonlinear and fraught with uncertainty. On one hand, advances in the neural lace's hardware and software began to yield transformative results. New iterations of the device incorporated adaptive AI algorithms capable of learning from individual neural patterns, improving precision and responsiveness. This allowed users to control external devices, communicate, and even augment cognitive functions with greater ease and reliability. A breakthrough came when a volunteer with advanced ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, was able to compose messages and control a computer solely through thought, restoring a level of independence previously deemed impossible. This milestone generated renewed excitement within the team and the public, validating years of relentless effort. Simultaneously, partnerships with educational institutions expanded, allowing researchers to explore the neural lace's role in enhancing learning and memory in healthy individuals. Early results showed promise in accelerating language acquisition and problem-solving skills, sparking visions of a future where education could be personalized and accessible like never before. However, alongside these breakthroughs, significant challenges emerged that tested the project's resilience. A cluster of users began reporting unexplained cognitive fatigue and emotional disturbances after prolonged use of the device. Though rare, these side effects prompted immediate investigation, raising critical questions about the long-term neurological impact of sustained neural lace use. The medical team conducted thorough evaluations and modified usage protocols to mitigate risks, but the concerns sparked intense debate both internally and in the media. Critics seized on these reports as evidence that the technology was premature, while supporters emphasized the rarity and manageability of side effects. Elon publicly acknowledged the seriousness of these issues, reinforcing the company's commitment to safety and transparency. "We must proceed cautiously and listen carefully to every user experience," he said at a press conference. "The well-being of our users is paramount." At the same time, regulatory agencies intensified scrutiny, demanding more extensive clinical data and independent verification of safety claims. The approval process lengthened, leading to delays in planned commercial releases. This regulatory friction frustrated the team, but also underscored the importance of robust oversight in a technology so intimately connected to human health. Production setbacks compounded these pressures. Supply chain disruptions caused by geopolitical tensions and global material shortages forced the team to re-engineer components and seek alternative sources. Manufacturing bottlenecks slowed rollout plans, increasing costs and straining investor confidence. The startup atmosphere gave way to a more complex corporate environment requiring strategic agility and sustained resource management. Within the team, morale fluctuated between exhilaration over breakthroughs and discouragement from obstacles. Elon's leadership adapted to these rhythms, fostering a culture that embraced failure as a learning tool while maintaining a relentless focus on the ultimate mission. He encouraged open dialogue and empowered engineers to experiment boldly while upholding rigorous standards. One notable innovation during this phase was the integration of biofeedback systems that allowed users to monitor neural lace performance and adjust usage in real time. This feature improved user agency and helped minimize adverse effects. The team also advanced encryption and privacy protections, responding to ongoing cybersecurity concerns. Throughout these developments, Elon remained publicly visible and vocal, using his platform to communicate progress candidly and inspire confidence. He emphasized the collective nature of the journey, recognizing the contributions of scientists, engineers, volunteers, and society at large. Behind the scenes, Elon grappled with the immense weight of responsibility that came with pioneering such transformative technology. He often reflected on the project's origins. Humble beginnings fueled by a simple but powerful vision to enhance human potential and connection. Despite setbacks, his resolve strengthened, driven by stories of lives improved and the vast potential still ahead. This chapter captures the essence of innovation as a dynamic, unpredictable process marked by highs and lows. It highlights the importance of perseverance, adaptability, and ethical stewardship when pushing boundaries that redefine what it means to be human. As the neural lace moves closer to broader adoption, Elon and his team face a critical choice: how to scale responsibly while safeguarding the core values that have guided the project. The story continues to unfold as a complex dance between hope and caution, vision and reality, challenge and triumph. What new frontiers will Elon's creation explore next? How will humanity integrate this new technology into the fabric of daily life? The answers remain open, inviting readers to stay engaged in this unfolding saga of human ingenuity and transformation. In the wake of the breakthroughs and setbacks that marked the previous phase of the Neural Lace project, Elon Musk recognized that advancing this revolutionary technology would require more than engineering innovation. It demanded building bridges between diverse communities, institutions, and disciplines. The challenges they faced highlighted that the Neural Lace was not merely a device but a catalyst for societal transformation, touching on ethical, cultural, and philosophical dimensions. Elon spearheaded an initiative to foster collaboration across sectors, aiming to create a network of stakeholders who could contribute insight, support, and oversight. This included academic researchers, healthcare professionals, policymakers, ethicists, and users themselves. The objective was to develop a holistic ecosystem that could guide responsible development and adoption of Neural Lace technology. One of the first steps was the launch of an international consortium dedicated to neural interface research and ethical standards. This consortium facilitated cross-border knowledge exchange, pooling resources to tackle complex questions around safety, privacy, and accessibility. Universities from around the world contributed research on neurological impacts, data security, and social implications. Policymakers participated to align emerging regulations with scientific realities. Users and patient advocacy groups provided invaluable perspectives on lived experiences, helping tailor solutions that addressed real-world needs and concerns. Elon championed transparency and inclusivity, insisting that the project remain accountable to the public it aimed to serve. Town halls, webinars, and public forums became regular fixtures, allowing the broader community to engage directly with the team. This openness helped combat misinformation and build trust amid persistent skepticism. Within the tech community, partnerships expanded beyond traditional boundaries. Elon's companies collaborated with startups specializing in AI ethics, cybersecurity, and neuropsychology, creating a vibrant innovation ecosystem. These collaborations accelerated development of adaptive algorithms, enhanced privacy protections, and user-centric interfaces. Importantly, these alliances emphasized user empowerment, ensuring individuals maintained control over their neural data and device functionality. The education sector became a vital arena for experimentation. Schools and universities integrated Neural Lace-assisted learning programs, enabling researchers to study cognitive and social outcomes at scale. These programs demonstrated the potential to personalize education, support neurodiverse learners, and foster collaborative problem-solving skills. Elon visited several campuses to engage with students and faculty, inspired by their enthusiasm and creativity. At the same time, healthcare providers began incorporating Neural Lace technology into rehabilitation and mental health therapies. Clinicians reported improvements in patient outcomes, including enhanced communication for stroke survivors and new avenues for managing anxiety and PTSD. This clinical adoption further validated the Neural Lace's transformative promise and underscored the need for rigorous training and ethical guidelines for practitioners. As collaboration deepened, cultural conversations evolved. Artists, writers, and philosophers explored the implications of Neural Lace technology, sparking debates about identity, consciousness, and the nature of human experience. These dialogues enriched public understanding and encouraged nuanced reflections beyond technological hype or fear. Elon often participated in such discussions, emphasizing that technology is a mirror reflecting our values and choices. Internally, the culture at Elon's company shifted to embrace interdisciplinarity and empathy. Teams were organized around shared missions rather than just technical specialties, fostering creativity and mutual respect. Employee wellness and diversity initiatives strengthened, recognizing that building a technology to connect minds also required nurturing connectedness among the creators themselves. Amid this collaborative momentum, new challenges emerged. Coordinating across international borders and diverse stakeholders proved complex. Conflicting interests and regulatory environments required delicate negotiation and compromise. Elon's leadership style adapted to emphasize diplomacy, patience, and inclusivity, balancing visionary goals with pragmatic realities. One memorable example involved a contentious debate over data sovereignty, how to ensure users' neural data remain protected according to local laws while enabling global research collaboration. Elon facilitated multi-stakeholder dialogues that led to innovative frameworks respecting both individual rights and collective progress. This episode highlighted the power of collaboration to resolve tensions through shared understanding. By the end of this chapter, Elon Musk's Neural Lace project had transformed from a high-tech startup into a global movement grounded in connection between people, disciplines, and societies. The vision expanded from individual enhancement to collective empowerment, with technology serving as a bridge rather than a barrier. The journey underscored that true innovation requires not only invention but integration, weaving new technologies into the fabric of human life with care and consciousness. For readers, this chapter invites reflection on the importance of collaboration in shaping the future. It asks, how can we build bridges across differences to harness technology's potential for good? What roles can each of us play in fostering connection and understanding? As the story continues, Elon and his team face the exciting yet daunting task of scaling this collaborative vision while maintaining the integrity and humanity that define their mission. The adventure of Elon Musk's new creation marches forward, powered not only by technology but by the enduring power of human connection. Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. This story might just spark a new beginning. What's one thing that always pushes you forward, even when things get tough? As the Neural Lace project expanded its reach and integrated deeper into society, the shadows of doubt began to lengthen, casting complex ethical dilemmas and personal struggles across Elon Musk and his team. The very technology designed to enhance human connection and cognition now raised profound questions about identity, autonomy, and the consequences of tampering with the mind. For Elon, these challenges became more than abstract debates, they were intimate battles that tested his convictions and leadership. One of the most persistent ethical concerns involved consent and agency. While the Neural Lace promised unprecedented communication and cognitive enhancement, critics worried about potential coercion or exploitation. What if employers pressured workers to adopt the technology to boost productivity? Could individuals truly opt out without social or economic penalty? To address these fears, the Ethics Committee introduced rigorous guidelines emphasizing voluntary use, informed consent, and the right to disconnect at any time. Elon publicly supported these measures, acknowledging that the allure of enhancement must never override fundamental human rights. Yet, internally, Elon wrestled with scenarios where the lines blurred. For example, a pilot program revealed that some users who benefited greatly from the Neural Lace struggled to disengage, experiencing anxiety or disorientation without it. This raised questions about dependency and the psychological impact of integrating technology so intimately with one's identity. Mental health professionals joined the project to develop support systems and monitor long-term effects, but the complexity of the human mind ensured no easy answers. Parallel to these ethical debates, Elon faced personal struggles. The pressure to balance visionary leadership with responsible stewardship weighed heavily. Public scrutiny intensified, magnifying every misstep or controversy. At home, Elon's relationships were strained by his relentless work schedule and emotional exhaustion. Friends and family voiced concern, reminding him of the importance of self-care and balance. These personal challenges humanized Elon, revealing that behind the headlines and groundbreaking innovations stood a person grappling with universal vulnerabilities. Amid this turbulence, a particularly poignant moment occurred during a conversation with a Neural Lace user named Mia, a young artist who described how the technology had unlocked new creative capacities but also triggered moments of existential crisis. Mia shared how the enhanced connectivity sometimes blurred the boundary between her thoughts and others, leading to confusion about her own identity. Her story illuminated the nuanced impact of the technology beyond measurable metrics, how it touched the essence of what it means to be an individual. This encounter deeply affected Elon, reinforcing the need to prioritize empathy and psychological insight alongside technical progress. Ethical dilemmas extended into questions of data privacy and security. Despite cutting-edge encryption and safeguards, the potential for misuse remained a persistent concern. Stories emerged of hackers attempting to breach neural lace networks, seeking to manipulate thoughts or extract sensitive information. These threats underscored the stakes involved when interfacing directly with the brain. Elon intensified investments in cybersecurity, convening experts to develop resilient defenses and rapid response protocols. Yet, the reality remained that no system is impervious. These vulnerabilities prompted broader societal conversations about digital rights, neural data ownership, and the future of personal privacy in a connected age. Meanwhile, cultural and philosophical debates flourished. Some thinkers questioned whether enhancing cognition through technology risked eroding the authenticity of human experience. Others argued that such enhancements could exacerbate inequalities, creating a divide between augmented and non-augmented individuals. Elon engaged with these critiques openly, viewing them not as obstacles but as essential reflections guiding responsible innovation. He often remarked, "Technology must serve humanity's highest values, not replace them." Within his team, these ethical tensions sparked passionate discussions and occasional disagreements. Diverse perspectives enriched the dialogue but also required careful facilitation to maintain cohesion. Elon encouraged a culture where questioning and critical thinking were embraced, understanding that grappling with complexity was part of pioneering this new frontier. As the chapter unfolds, readers witness the intertwined nature of technological ambition and human frailty. Elon Musk's new creation stands at a crossroads, offering promise and peril in equal measure. The ethical dilemmas and personal struggles illuminate that innovation is not only a scientific endeavor but a moral journey requiring humility, courage, and continuous reflection. For the audience, this chapter invites deep contemplation about the costs and responsibilities of progress. It asks, how do we safeguard autonomy and identity in a world where technology can reach inside the mind? What sacrifices are we willing to make for enhancement? How do leaders balance vision with care? As Elon and his team navigate these shadows of doubt, the story deepens in complexity and humanity. The neural lace is no longer just a marvel of engineering, it is a mirror reflecting the hopes, fears, and values of the society it seeks to transform. The path forward demands not only innovation but wisdom and heart. The adventure of Elon Musk's new creation continues, marked by introspection as much as invention, resilience as much as discovery. As the neural lace technology matured, its most profound impact began to unfold in the field of medicine, where it promised to revolutionize treatment and healing in ways previously confined to science fiction. Elon Musk's vision of a future where brain-machine interfaces could restore lost functions and enhance quality of life moved closer to reality, bringing hope to millions facing debilitating neurological conditions. The initial medical trials had already demonstrated remarkable outcomes. Patients suffering from paralysis, stroke, and neurodegenerative diseases experienced improved motor control, communication, and cognitive function through neural lace implants. These successes fueled an expanding wave of research and clinical applications. One groundbreaking case involved a young woman named Sarah, who had been paralyzed from the neck down after a car accident. After receiving the neural lace implant, Sarah regained limited movement in her hands and was able to interact with her environment using thought-controlled devices. The emotional reunion with her family, after years of silence and isolation, underscored the technology's transformative power. Stories like Sarah's captured public imagination, demonstrating that the neural lace was not just a tool for augmentation but a lifeline for restoration. Hospitals and rehabilitation centers worldwide began adopting neural lace systems as part of standard care protocols for certain conditions. This rapid integration required extensive training for medical professionals and the development of new interdisciplinary teams combining neurology, engineering, and psychology. Elon's company partnered with leading medical institutions to establish centers of excellence focused on neural interface therapies. These centers became hubs of innovation and compassionate care, emphasizing patient-centered approaches and rigorous ethical standards. Beyond physical rehabilitation, the neural lace showed promise in treating mental health disorders. Preliminary studies indicated that the technology could modulate neural circuits involved in depression, anxiety, PTSD, and addiction. By providing targeted stimulation and real-time monitoring, clinicians could tailor treatments with unprecedented precision. This potential opened new frontiers in psychiatry, offering hope to patients for whom traditional therapies had failed. However, integrating neural lace into mental health care also raised sensitive ethical questions about consent, privacy, and the definition of normalcy. The medical community engaged in robust debates to establish guidelines ensuring respect for patient autonomy and dignity. Elon supported these discussions, emphasizing that healing must honor the whole person. The technology also spurred innovation in preventive medicine and brain health monitoring. Wearable neural lace devices allowed continuous tracking of cognitive function, early detection of neurodegenerative changes, and personalized interventions to maintain mental fitness. These advances encouraged a shift from reactive to proactive healthcare, empowering individuals to take greater control over their neurological well-being. This preventive dimension aligned with Elon's broader vision of human enhancement as an extension of health and vitality. As the technology advanced, regulatory bodies worldwide updated approval processes to accommodate neural lace medical applications. These new frameworks balanced rigorous safety standards with expedited pathways recognizing the technology's unique potential. Elon engaged closely with regulators, advocating for evidence-based policies that facilitated innovation while protecting patients. The collaborative approach helped build public trust and paved the way for broader access. Despite these remarkable advances, challenges remained. High costs and infrastructure requirements limited availability in low-resource settings, raising concerns about equitable access. The company launched initiatives to expand affordability, including subsidies, partnerships with nonprofits, and scalable manufacturing techniques. Addressing disparities became a core ethical commitment. Additionally, long-term studies were ongoing to understand the durability of implants, potential side effects, and optimal protocols for maintenance and upgrades. Elon's team maintained transparency about uncertainties and prioritized continuous improvement. This chapter also highlights the emotional journeys of patients, families, and caregivers navigating the neural lace's impact. Personal stories revealed the complex interplay of hope, adjustment, and resilience. Elon often visited patients and shared their stories publicly, reinforcing the human heart at the center of technological progress. Through vivid descriptions of hospital settings, rehabilitation sessions, and intimate moments of connection, the narrative immerses readers in the lived reality of healing through neural lace. The chapter concludes with a powerful reflection on the intersection of technology and humanity. Elon Musk's new creation stands as a beacon of possibility, demonstrating that innovation, when guided by empathy and ethics, can restore not only function but dignity and hope. It challenges society to envision healthcare not just as treatment but as a partnership between mind, machine, and community. For readers, this chapter invites contemplation of the profound ways technology can heal and transform lives. It asks, how can we ensure that medical advances serve all people equitably? What does it mean to heal the mind? How do we balance innovation with compassion? As the story unfolds, the neural lace's medical journey emerges as a testament to human perseverance, ingenuity, and the enduring quest for connection and wholeness. Elon Musk's creation continues its remarkable evolution, bringing light to some of humanity's darkest struggles and opening new pathways toward a future where healing and enhancement merge. As Elon Musk's neural lace technology steadily advanced from the lab into the hands of users worldwide, an equally critical journey unfolded, a battle for public acceptance. While the device promised to revolutionize communication, medicine, and cognition, it also sparked widespread debate, skepticism, and even fear among many segments of society. This chapter explores the complex landscape of public perception, revealing how Elon and his team navigated the challenges of trust, misinformation, and cultural resistance to usher in a new era of human-machine symbiosis. From the outset, neural lace technology was met with a mix of awe and apprehension. Media coverage often sensationalized the possibilities, describing it as mind control or brain hacking, fueling both fascination and anxiety. Conspiracy theories proliferated online, ranging from fears of government surveillance to dystopian scenarios of loss of free will. These narratives created formidable obstacles to broad acceptance, necessitating proactive communication strategies. Elon recognized that building trust required transparency and genuine engagement. He embarked on a global media campaign, participating in interviews, documentaries, and live demonstrations that demystified the technology. By showcasing real user experiences, both successes and challenges, he sought to humanize the neural lace and dispel myths. He emphasized that the device was designed with rigorous safety and privacy measures, placing user agency at the forefront. Despite these efforts, pockets of resistance persisted. Advocacy groups emerged, questioning the ethics of brain-machine interfaces and calling for moratoriums until long-term effects were better understood. Religious and cultural communities expressed concerns about altering the natural, human mind, sparking dialogue about identity and spirituality. Elon engaged respectfully with these groups, facilitating conversations that acknowledged fears while highlighting shared values of dignity and autonomy. Social media proved a double-edged sword in shaping public perception. On one hand, it enabled rapid dissemination of accurate information, educational content, and inspiring stories from neural lace users. On the other, it amplified misinformation and polarized opinions. Elon's team employed sophisticated monitoring tools to identify and address misinformation promptly, collaborating with platform moderators and fact-checkers. They also leveraged social media influencers and community leaders to reach diverse audiences authentically. Educational initiatives became a cornerstone of acceptance efforts. Workshops, school programs, and interactive exhibits introduced people to the science and potential of neural lace technology in accessible ways. By engaging youth and lifelong learners, the campaign aimed to cultivate informed perspectives that could counter fear with curiosity and understanding. These programs often highlighted the ethical frameworks guiding development, underscoring commitments to safety, privacy, and equity. A particularly impactful moment came during a nationwide town hall series where users shared candid testimonials about how neural lace transformed their lives. These personal stories resonated deeply, helping bridge the gap between abstract technology and lived human experience. Elon's presence at several sessions, listening, answering questions, and acknowledging uncertainties, further strengthened community trust. However, challenges persisted. News of rare adverse effects and security breaches fueled renewed skepticism. Opponents argued that the technology risked deepening social divides, creating enhanced elites and leaving others behind. In response, Elon emphasized inclusivity and affordability initiatives, reiterating that neural lace was meant to empower all people, not just a privileged few. The chapter also delves into how popular culture reflected and shaped perceptions. Films, books, and art explored neural lace themes, sometimes idealizing, sometimes warning. Adding layers to public imagination. Elon engaged with creators, encouraging thoughtful portrayals that could spark meaningful dialogue rather than fear-mongering. Behind the scenes, Elon Musk and his team grappled with the emotional toll of public scrutiny. Criticism and backlash, even when unfair, tested their resolve. Yet, the support from users and collaborators provided motivation to persist. They recognized that societal transformation is a marathon, not a sprint. As the chapter closes, it becomes clear that public acceptance is as vital as technological success in determining neural lace's future. Elon Musk's creation is not merely a product but a social phenomenon requiring empathy, dialogue, and education to thrive. The narrative invites readers to consider their own views and the collective role in shaping a future where human and machine coexist harmoniously. What fears must be confronted and what hopes nurtured? How do we balance innovation with caution and inclusivity? The journey of acceptance continues, reflecting the broader human story of adapting to change, embracing possibility, and safeguarding values. Elon Musk's new creation stands at this crossroads, poised to redefine what it means to be human, if society can overcome its fears and choose to trust in the promise of connection and enhancement. As the neural lace technology reached new milestones, the world watched with a mixture of admiration and urgency. Elon Musk's creation had ignited a global race, with countries, corporations, and research institutions vying to develop their own brain-machine interfaces. The stakes were high. Whoever mastered the technology first would shape not only the future of human cognition but also geopolitical power and economic dominance. This chapter explores the dynamic interplay of competition and cooperation that defined this international race, revealing how Elon and his team navigated a complex landscape of rivalry, collaboration, and shared ambition. The race began as governments recognized the strategic importance of neural lace. Agencies invested heavily in research programs, seeking to harness the technology for military, medical, and industrial applications. Nations competed to attract top talent, fund startups, and establish innovation hubs. Some viewed neural interfaces as the next frontier in defense capabilities, raising concerns about an arms race in cognitive enhancement. Elon's company found itself both a leader and a target in this environment. As pioneers, they faced pressure to protect intellectual property and maintain technological advantage. Yet, Elon understood that the challenges involved, ethical, scientific, infrastructural, were too vast for any single entity to solve alone. This led to a nuanced approach blending competition with selective cooperation. One significant breakthrough came from an unexpected partnership between Elon's company and a major European research consortium. Despite political tensions and commercial rivalry, the groups collaborated on shared standards for neural interface safety and interoperability. This alliance set a precedent, demonstrating that responsible innovation could transcend borders. Elon personally championed these efforts, advocating for an open but secure framework that balanced national interests with global progress. At the same time, Elon's team expanded outreach to developing nations, recognizing that global equity was essential to prevent the technology from becoming a tool of division. They launched training programs, infrastructure support, and subsidized access initiatives to empower innovators worldwide. This inclusive strategy fostered goodwill and broadened the community of neural lace developers and users. Meanwhile, corporate competitors accelerated their own research, introducing alternative neural interface models and competing for market share. This competition spurred rapid innovation, driving improvements in device miniaturization, battery life, and user experience. Elon welcomed this dynamic, viewing it as a catalyst for progress while remaining vigilant against reckless shortcuts. The chapter highlights episodes of both intense rivalry and unexpected collaboration. In one dramatic instance, a potential patent dispute was resolved through mediation that led to a cross-licensing agreement, opening pathways for joint development of neuroprosthetics. Such moments underscored that competition need not preclude cooperation but could be harnessed constructively. Global regulatory bodies also played a crucial role in shaping the race. International standards for neural lace safety, privacy, and ethical use were debated and gradually established through multilateral forums. Elon's leadership extended to these diplomatic arenas, where he advocated for balanced policies that protected users without stifling innovation. This work required patience and compromise but laid the foundation for sustainable growth. Public opinion in various countries influenced the pace and nature of adoption. Cultural attitudes toward technology, privacy, and bodily autonomy varied widely, requiring tailored approaches. Elon's team invested in cross-cultural research and community engagement to ensure respectful and effective implementation. The chapter offers vivid descriptions of international conferences, cutting-edge labs, and bustling innovation districts, painting a picture of a world energized by neural lace possibilities yet mindful of complexities. Behind the scenes, Elon grappled with the personal and strategic challenges of steering a global initiative. Balancing ambition with responsibility, protecting intellectual property while fostering openness, and managing diverse stakeholder expectations demanded adaptive leadership. His vision remained clear. Neural lace technology must serve humanity's collective future, not narrow interests. For readers, this chapter invites reflection on the paradox of global competition fueling cooperation and vice versa. It asks, how can nations and corporations collaborate in advancing transformative technologies while safeguarding ethical standards? What responsibilities do innovators bear in a connected world? How can we ensure that breakthroughs benefit all, not just the powerful? The story of Elon Musk's new creation at this juncture is one of dynamic tension and hopeful possibility. The neural lace race exemplifies the complexity of progress in an interconnected era, where rivalry spurs excellence but shared humanity demands collaboration. As the narrative moves forward, Elon and his team face the challenge of sustaining this delicate balance while continuing to push the boundaries of what neural lace can achieve. The future of human-machine integration hinges not only on technology but on the global community's ability to unite around common values and aspirations. Elon Musk's creation stands as a beacon of innovation and cooperation, illuminating pathways to a future where mind and machine merge for the benefit of all. As neural lace technology evolved, its fusion with artificial intelligence, AI, emerged as the next revolutionary frontier. Elon Musk's vision extended beyond simple brain-computer interfaces to a seamless integration where AI and the human mind collaborated in real time, enhancing cognition, decision-making, and creativity. This chapter delves into the exhilarating breakthroughs at this intersection, revealing the transformative potential, and daunting challenges, of melding neural lace with advanced AI systems. The journey began with the realization that neural lace alone could significantly augment human capabilities, but combining it with AI offered exponential possibilities. Elon's team pursued developing an AI companion, an intelligent assistant embedded directly within the neural interface. This AI would not only respond to commands but anticipate needs, synthesize information, and support complex thought processes. Early prototypes demonstrated remarkable enhancements in memory recall, problem-solving speed, and multitasking ability. One striking example involved Dr. Ava Martinez, a neuroscientist who used the neural lace AI assistant to accelerate her research. With real-time data analysis and hypothesis testing embedded within her cognitive workflow, Ava reported breakthroughs months ahead of traditional methods. The AI's capacity to filter relevant information and suggest novel connections transformed her scientific approach. This synergy between human intuition and machine precision epitomized the promise of neural lace AI integration. Yet, developing such a system was fraught with complexity. Elon's engineers grappled with challenges in ensuring seamless communication between the biological brain and AI algorithms while maintaining user safety and privacy. The AI had to learn individual cognitive patterns without overriding autonomy or introducing unintended biases. Continuous monitoring and adaptive learning algorithms became essential. The team developed sophisticated feedback loops allowing users to customize AI behavior and intervene when necessary. Emotional intelligence in AI also became a focal point. Neural lace users expressed a desire for AI companions capable of empathy, understanding emotional cues, and providing support beyond technical assistance. Incorporating effective computing, where machines recognize and respond to human emotions, added layers of depth to the interaction. Elon envisioned AI not as a cold calculator but as a trusted cognitive partner enriching human experience. Public reaction to the AI integration was mixed. Enthusiasts hailed it as a leap towards superintelligence and personalized augmentation. Critics raised concerns about dependency, loss of privacy, and the risk of AI influence over human decisions. Elon addressed these fears head-on, promoting transparency in AI operations and emphasizing user control. He introduced open-source components allowing users and independent auditors to verify AI behavior. Collaboration with ethicists and cognitive scientists ensured that AI integration respected human dignity and freedom. The narrative captures the excitement and tension of this breakthrough phase through vivid scenes of testing labs, late-night coding sessions, and pilot users' first encounters with their AI companions. Elon himself participated actively, reflecting on the profound implications of creating a form of digital consciousness intertwined with human thought. A pivotal moment occurred when the team successfully demonstrated an AI-assisted creative session with a renowned artist, Marcus Lee. Using neural lace, Marcus engaged in a dialogue with the AI, co-creating complex musical compositions that blended human emotion with algorithmic innovation. The session showcased the technology's potential to expand artistic horizons and blur boundaries between creator and tool. However, integrating AI with neural lace also raised philosophical questions about identity and agency. Users reported moments where AI suggestions felt intrusive or where the distinction between their own thoughts and AI inputs became unclear. Elon's team worked to refine interfaces to enhance clarity and ensure users maintained ultimate control. These experiences sparked broader societal conversations about what it means to think, create, and decide in a world where human and machine cognition converge. Security concerns intensified as well. The AI's access to intimate cognitive processes made it a target for cyber attacks with potentially devastating consequences. Elon's cybersecurity experts developed multi-layered defense protocols, including biometric authentication, real-time anomaly detection, and secure cloud architectures. These measures aimed to safeguard not only data but the sanctity of the human mind itself. International cooperation on AI safety standards complemented these technical efforts, reinforcing the Neural Lace Initiative's commitment to responsible innovation. The chapter also explores the personal growth of Elon Musk throughout this process. His reflections reveal a deepening appreciation for the ethical dimensions of AI integration and a renewed commitment to aligning technology with human values. He articulated a vision of augmenting humanity, not replacing it, emphasizing partnership over dominance. For readers, this chapter offers an immersive journey into a future where mind and machine fuse to create new modes of thought and expression. It challenges assumptions about intelligence and consciousness while inspiring hope for expanded human potential. Questions emerge: how do we navigate the blurred lines between self and AI? What safeguards are necessary to protect autonomy in a hybrid cognitive system? How can AI companionship enhance emotional well-being? Elon Musk's Neural Lace project at this stage stands at the vanguard of a new cognitive epoch, one marked by collaboration between biology and artificial intelligence. The breakthroughs at this edge not only redefine technology but invite profound reflection on the essence of human experience in an increasingly interconnected world. The chapter closes on a note of cautious optimism, recognizing both the extraordinary possibilities and the responsibilities inherent in shaping this brave new frontier. Elon's creation continues to evolve, propelled by innovation, grounded in ethics, and inspired by the timeless quest to transcend limits and enrich the human mind. As neural lace technology deepened its integration into human cognition, it inevitably confronted profound ethical questions that transcended mere technical considerations. Elon Musk and his team found themselves navigating a complex moral frontier where the boundaries of identity, privacy, consent, and equity were continually tested and redefined. This chapter explores the ethical landscape surrounding neural lace, highlighting the dilemmas faced, the debates sparked, and the frameworks developed to guide responsible innovation. One of the most pressing issues was informed consent. Unlike traditional medical devices, neural lace interfaces with the very seat of consciousness, thoughts, memories, and emotions. Ensuring that users fully understood the implications of implanting such technology posed unique challenges. Elon's company pioneered rigorous consent protocols involving multidisciplinary teams of neurologists, ethicists, and legal experts to provide clear, transparent information. These protocols emphasized ongoing consent, recognizing that users' perspectives might evolve as they experienced the technology's effects. Privacy concerns loomed large. The neural lace's ability to record, transmit, and interpret neural data raised fears about surveillance and unauthorized access. Elon responded by designing decentralized, encrypted data systems giving users control over what was shared and with whom. The company also advocated for robust legal protections against misuse, working with lawmakers worldwide to craft neuroprivacy regulations. Another ethical dimension involved cognitive autonomy, the right to maintain control over one's own mind. Neural lace's capacity to enhance cognition and influence thought processes sparked debate over potential coercion or manipulation. Elon's team embedded safeguards ensuring that AI companions and external systems could only act with explicit user authorization. They also developed thought firewalls to prevent unauthorized interventions, fostering trust and user empowerment. Equity and access presented ongoing challenges. The risk that neural lace could exacerbate social inequalities if available only to affluent individuals or nations prompted proactive measures. Elon's company committed to tiered pricing models, partnerships with global health organizations, and open licensing of core technologies to promote widespread availability. Ethical review boards continuously assessed distribution strategies to align with social justice principles. The technology also raised questions about identity and selfhood. Users reported experiences where neural enhancements blurred the line between their natural thoughts and machine-generated suggestions, prompting philosophical inquiry into what it means to be human. Elon encouraged open dialogue, convening forums where neuroscientists, philosophers, users, and the public could explore these profound issues collaboratively. The chapter recounts vivid scenarios illustrating these ethical complexities, a user grappling with whether to share neural data for research. A government debating regulations balancing innovation with citizens' rights, a family confronting changes in a loved one's personality after neural lace implantation. These narratives personalize abstract dilemmas, revealing their real-world impact. Elon's leadership in fostering an ethical culture was pivotal. He established an independent ethics council comprising diverse experts tasked with ongoing oversight, transparency, and public engagement. This council reviewed policies, advised on emerging issues, and served as a bridge between technology developers and society. The chapter also highlights the evolution of ethical frameworks, from initial reactive policies to proactive, anticipatory governance. These frameworks integrated principles such as beneficence, non-maleficence, justice, and respect for persons, adapted to the neural lace context. Educational initiatives informed users and the broader public about ethical considerations, empowering informed participation in shaping the technology's trajectory. International collaboration emerged as essential. Neural lace's global reach meant that ethical standards needed harmonization across cultural, legal, and political differences. Elon actively engaged in multinational efforts to establish common guidelines that respected diversity while upholding fundamental rights. This collaborative spirit reinforced the technology's legitimacy and societal acceptance. The chapter closes with a profound reflection on the ethical responsibility accompanying technological power. Elon Musk's neural lace project exemplifies how innovation must be inseparable from moral stewardship. The narrative invites readers to consider their own values and roles in this unfolding story. How do we protect the sanctity of the mind in an age of digital integration? What balance between progress and precaution best serves humanity? How can diverse voices shape the future of transformative technologies? Ultimately, the ethical frontiers of neural lace challenge humanity to rise to new levels of wisdom, empathy, and courage. Elon's creation not only pushes the boundaries of possibility but also calls forth our highest aspirations to honor dignity, freedom, and shared humanity in a rapidly changing world. Behind the dazzling headlines and world-changing innovations of Elon Musk's neural lace project lies a story of immense personal sacrifice and resilience, not just for Elon himself but for the entire team dedicated to bringing this visionary technology to life. This chapter pulls back the curtain to reveal the human side of the breakthrough, the long hours, relentless pressure, emotional struggles, and moments of doubt that shaped the journey as much as the technological triumphs. From the outset, the neural lace project demanded a level of commitment that tested every participant's physical and mental endurance. Elon, known for his intense work ethic, set a pace that reverberated throughout the company. Days blurred into nights as teams raced to solve unprecedented challenges in neuroscience, engineering, and ethics. The stakes were immense. Delays or failures could cost lives, billions of dollars, and global trust. For many, the strain was palpable. Dr. Karen Hughes, a lead neuroscientist, often found herself torn between professional dedication and personal well-being. She recalled nights spent in the lab wrestling with unpredictable neural signals, her exhaustion compounded by worries about her young children at home. Like many on the team, Karen grappled with feelings of isolation, both because of the project's secrecy and the unique pressures they bore. Elon's own journey was marked by moments of vulnerability rarely seen in public. The immense responsibility weighed heavily on him, particularly when setbacks occurred. There were times he questioned whether the risks justified the potential rewards, especially as regulatory hurdles mounted and public skepticism grew. Yet, these moments of doubt fueled his resolve rather than diminishing it. The chapter recounts a poignant episode during a critical phase of testing when a device malfunction caused temporary cognitive disruption in a volunteer participant. The incident shook the team, igniting fears and attracting negative media attention. Elon personally visited the participant's family, offering support and transparency. This crisis catalyzed renewed focus on safety protocols and empathetic communication, strengthening the project's ethical foundation. The narrative also explores the interpersonal dynamics within the team. High-pressure environments sometimes bred conflicts, creative clashes, and burnout. Yet, deep bonds formed through shared purpose and adversity. Team members became like family, supporting each other through setbacks and celebrating breakthroughs. Elon fostered this culture by emphasizing empathy and openness, hosting regular discussions about mental health and work-life balance. Resilience emerged as a defining theme. The team adapted by incorporating flexible schedules, wellness programs, and mindfulness practices. These efforts acknowledge that innovation thrives not just on intelligence but on sustained emotional and physical health. Stories of individual perseverance abound, engineers recovering from illness to meet deadlines, scientists overcoming personal loss, and collaborators learning to trust amid uncertainty. The chapter vividly portrays the emotional roller coaster of the neural-laced journey, hope tempered by fear, excitement shadowed by fatigue, and ambition balanced by humility. Readers witness the toll of chasing a future that demands constant evolution and sacrifice. Beyond internal struggles, Elon's family life reflected the personal cost of his visionary pursuits. The chapter offers intimate glimpses into his relationships, revealing moments of tension and reconciliation with loved ones who both inspired and worried about his relentless drive. These dynamics humanize a figure often seen only through the lens of celebrity and innovation. In conclusion, the chapter affirms that behind every groundbreaking technology lies a human story rich with complexity. Elon Musk's Neural Lace project exemplifies how resilience, sacrifice, and compassion are inseparable from the march of progress. The narrative encourages readers to appreciate not only the technology itself but the people whose dedication and courage made it possible. As neural lace technology moves closer to widespread adoption, this chapter's reflection on personal cost serves as a reminder that innovation is ultimately a human endeavor, one that demands balance, care, and unwavering spirit. When Elon Musk unveiled his neural lace technology to the public, the world responded with a whirlwind of emotions, ranging from exhilaration and hope to skepticism and fear. This chapter explores the multifaceted public reaction, capturing the cultural pulse as neural lace shifted from a futuristic concept to an emerging reality. It reveals how media narratives, social movements, and individual voices shaped the collective perception, influencing the technology's trajectory and societal integration. Initial public response was marked by immense hype. Headlines proclaimed a new era where humans could unlock superhuman cognitive powers, potentially curing neurological diseases and revolutionizing communication. Early adopters and tech enthusiasts embraced the promise enthusiastically, eager to explore the possibilities. Social media exploded with discussions, memes, and debates, reflecting both excitement and curiosity. Elon's charismatic presentations and transparent communication style fueled enthusiasm. He engaged audiences through live demonstrations, interviews, and interactive Q&A sessions, building a rapport that made the technology feel accessible rather than alien. However, the hype also sparked concerns. Privacy advocates warned about potential misuse of neural data, government surveillance, and the loss of mental autonomy. Religious and cultural groups debated the implications for human identity and the soul, with some framing neural lace as a threat to spiritual integrity. These concerns galvanized organized movements calling for cautious regulation and ethical oversight. The media played a pivotal role in shaping public opinion, balancing sensational headlines with investigative journalism. Stories ranged from glowing testimonials of improved quality of life to cautionary tales of malfunction and ethical quandaries. Documentaries and opinion pieces highlighted the human stories behind the technology, fostering empathy while probing deeper questions about societal impact. The chapter describes grassroots activism both for and against neural lace adoption. Some communities formed support networks to share experiences and advocate for equitable access. Others staged protests and petitions, demanding moratoriums until safety and privacy could be assured. Elon and his team responded by increasing transparency, hosting public forums, and collaborating with policymakers to address concerns. Educational campaigns became crucial, helping demystify neural lace and combat misinformation. These efforts emphasized user rights, data security, and the voluntary nature of implantation. Public perception varied widely across demographics and cultures, reflecting diverse values and experiences. Younger generations often showed greater enthusiasm, viewing neural lace as a natural evolution of digital interaction. Older populations expressed more reservations, prioritizing caution and traditional conceptions of self. Geographic differences emerged as well, with some countries embracing the technology rapidly and others adopting a more measured approach. This diversity challenged Elon's team to tailor messaging and implementation strategies sensitively. The chapter vividly portrays moments of social tension and breakthrough, town hall meetings where fears clashed with facts, viral videos of transformative personal stories, and policy debates balancing innovation with regulation. Elon's role as a public figure navigating these currents was complex. He became both a visionary hero and a lightning rod for criticism, illustrating the high stakes of leading such disruptive change. Ultimately, the chapter highlights the gradual shift from polarized extremes toward nuanced acceptance. As real-world benefits became evident, improved health outcomes, enhanced learning, and accessible communication, public skepticism softened. Neural lace moved from science fiction to everyday tool, integrated cautiously but confidently into society. The narrative invites readers to reflect on the societal dynamics of technological change. It asks, how do we balance enthusiasm and caution? What roles do culture, education, and dialogue play in shaping acceptance? How can innovators and communities collaborate to harness technology's promise responsibly? Elon Musk's neural lace story in this phase exemplifies the messy, vibrant process through which groundbreaking ideas become part of our shared human experience. The chapter closes with a hopeful message. That through open conversation, empathy, and vigilance, society can embrace innovation without losing sight of fundamental values. Neural lace's journey from hype to acceptance mirrors humanity's timeless dance with the unknown, full of wonder, fear, challenge, and ultimately, growth. As Elon Musk's neural lace technology entered its mature phase, the world stood at the cusp of profound transformation, with new beginnings unfolding across personal, societal, and global dimensions. This final chapter reflects on the journey, from initial sparks of curiosity and conflict through groundbreaking discoveries and ethical reckonings, culminating in a hopeful vision for the future shaped by lessons learned along the way. Neural lace, once a futuristic dream, had become a tool that reshaped human potential, communication, and understanding. Everyday life was reimagined, education embraced personalized neural coaching, healthcare saw early diagnosis and intervention at the neural level, creativity flourished through AI-human collaboration. The technology did not merely enhance individuals but forged new communities connected by shared cognitive experiences. Elon Musk, now reflecting on the arc of the project, articulated a philosophy grounded in humility and stewardship. He emphasized that neural lace was not about replacing humanity but enriching it, facilitating deeper empathy, unlocking latent abilities, and fostering collaboration across differences. This ethos permeated ongoing innovation and governance, ensuring the technology served common good. The chapter traces stories of individuals whose lives transformed through neural lace, students overcoming learning disabilities, artists transcending creative blocks, families reconnecting through shared memories. These narratives illustrate how technology, when aligned with human values, can heal, empower, and unite. Challenges persisted, ongoing debates about privacy, equity, and identity, but society learned to navigate these with maturity and openness. Regulatory frameworks evolved dynamically, informed by multidisciplinary dialogue and lived experience rather than rigid dogma. Elon's commitment to transparency and ethical responsibility remained a guiding light. The chapter also reflects on the personal growth of those involved, including Elon himself. The journey demanded resilience, empathy, and a willingness to confront uncertainty. These qualities, combined with visionary ambition, propelled the project's success. The story underscores that technological breakthroughs are inseparable from the human qualities that nurture them. Looking ahead, the narrative envisions future horizons opened by neural lace. Expanded interspecies communication, enhanced global cooperation through shared cognition, and new frontiers of consciousness exploration. Yet, it also cautions that such power requires ongoing vigilance, dialogue, and care to ensure technology amplifies humanity's best qualities rather than its fears or divisions. The concluding message resonates clearly: life is full of surprises, but love, curiosity, and shared purpose will always lead the way. Elon Musk's neural lace creation stands as a testament to human ingenuity and spirit, a beacon illuminating paths toward a future where mind and machine harmonize to unlock new realms of possibility. Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. This story might just spark a new beginning. What's one thing that always pushes you forward, even when things get tough? With this invitation, the story closes, inspiring readers to reflect on their own journeys and the collective adventure ahead. The Neural Lace saga is not just Elon's story, it is a story for all of us, of dreams, challenges, growth, and the enduring quest to transcend limits and embrace our shared humanity. The uncharted future of neural lace and humanity's next leap. The journey of Elon Musk's neural lace technology did not end with its widespread adoption or the initial societal transformations it sparked. Instead, it opened a door to an uncharted frontier where the boundaries between biology, technology, and consciousness continued to blur in ways previously unimaginable. This chapter ventures beyond the established narrative, exploring speculative but plausible futures that neural lace might enable and the profound implications these hold for humanity's next evolutionary leap. As neural lace matured, integration with other cutting-edge technologies, quantum computing, advanced AI, biotechnology, and space exploration began to accelerate, creating a technological ecosystem far more interconnected and intelligent than before. Imagine a world where neural lace users access instantaneous quantum-enhanced processing power embedded directly in their cognition, enabling not only rapid problem-solving but also real-time simulations of complex systems like climate models or social dynamics. This capability could empower individuals and collectives to make decisions with unprecedented foresight and precision, tackling global challenges with collaborative intelligence that transcends traditional limits. Moreover, neural lace might facilitate new forms of communication, evolving from words and images to direct transmission of thoughts, emotions, and sensory experiences. This telepathic connection could foster empathy and understanding across cultures and perspectives, reducing conflicts rooted in misunderstanding. Social structures could shift dramatically as humans form cognitive communities, where ideas and knowledge flow seamlessly and collectively. On a personal level, neural lace could enable immersive virtual realities indistinguishable from physical experiences, accessible at will, offering novel avenues for education, therapy, and entertainment. Users might explore historical eras firsthand, undergo deep psychological healing, or create entirely new worlds. These experiences could transform how humans learn, grow, and relate to one another. Yet, such profound integration of mind and machine would raise questions never before confronted. How would identity evolve when memories and thoughts are shared or even merged? Could collective consciousness emerge, blurring individuality? Ethical frameworks would need to evolve alongside technology to protect autonomy, privacy, and mental health in a world where the self becomes fluid and interconnected. Space exploration represents another horizon for neural lace. Elon Musk's vision of humanity as a multiplanetary species gains new dimension when enhanced cognition supports astronauts in environments of extreme isolation and complexity. Neural lace could facilitate remote collaboration with Earth, optimize cognitive performance under stress, and even enable direct brain-to-brain communication among crew members. This cognitive augmentation might be crucial for long-duration missions to Mars or beyond, where traditional communication delays and psychological challenges loom large. The chapter also addresses potential risks and pitfalls. Dependence on neural lace technology could create vulnerabilities to cyber threats, psychological effects of continuous augmentation, or societal divisions between enhanced and non-enhanced individuals. Proactive governance, inclusive dialogue, and resilient design principles remain essential to navigate these challenges responsibly. In reflecting on these possibilities, Elon Musk's role transforms from inventor to visionary guide, advocating for a future where technology amplifies human dignity, creativity, and freedom rather than diminishes them. His emphasis on humility, ethics, and collaboration continues to inspire a global community dedicated to stewarding this profound transition. The chapter closes by inviting readers to imagine their place in this unfolding story. Neural lace is more than a tool, it is a catalyst for rethinking what it means to be human in an age of boundless potential and complexity. The horizon beckons with mysteries and opportunities, challenging us to dream boldly, act wisely, and embrace the next leap with courage and compassion. The future of neural lace and humanity's journey beyond the horizon is an open book, waiting to be written by all who dare to imagine and create it together. How neural lace reshaped humanity and the world. The story of Elon Musk's neural lace technology culminates not just in scientific achievement but in a sweeping transformation of human identity, society, and the very fabric of our world. This final chapter explores the enduring legacy of neural lace, tracing its profound ripple effects across generations, cultures, and disciplines. It examines how this innovation redefined what it means to be human and sparked new paradigms of coexistence, creativity, and consciousness. At the heart of this legacy lies the fusion of mind and machine, a convergence that began as a bold experiment and evolved into a cornerstone of everyday life. Neural lace became more than a tool, it became a bridge connecting individuals to collective intelligence, to the vast reservoirs of human knowledge, and to one another on unprecedented levels. This integration reconfigured human cognition, enabling accelerated learning, emotional depth, and creative expression that transcended former limitations. Education underwent a revolution. Traditional schooling gave way to immersive, personalized cognitive experiences where learners accessed knowledge directly through neural lace interfaces. This shift democratized education worldwide, breaking down barriers of geography, language, and socioeconomic status. Lifelong learning became effortless and joyful, fostering a culture of continuous growth and adaptation. Healthcare similarly transformed. Neural lace enabled real-time monitoring and intervention for neurological and psychological conditions, drastically reducing suffering and enhancing well-being. Mental health received unprecedented attention and innovation, as early detection and neural modulation offered new pathways to healing. Patients no longer felt isolated in their struggles but connected through shared neural networks of support and understanding. In the realm of creativity and art, neural lace unlocked novel forms of expression. Artists collaborated with AI in co-creating works that blended human intuition with computational imagination. Collective consciousness networks birthed cultural movements that spanned continents instantly, fostering global empathy and unity. These developments reshaped how societies understood and valued culture, identity, and shared heritage. Social and political systems adapted to the realities of enhanced cognition and interconnectedness. Governance incorporated real-time input from citizen neural networks, enabling more responsive and inclusive decision-making. Conflicts rooted in misunderstanding diminished as empathy deepened through direct sharing of perspectives and experiences. While challenges persisted, the world embraced a new ethos centered on cooperation, transparency, and respect for diversity. Importantly, neural lace sparked philosophical and spiritual reflections on consciousness, free will, and existence. Humans grappled with questions of identity in a world where minds intertwined and memories could be shared or altered. New schools of thought emerged, blending science, philosophy, and spirituality to explore the expanded frontiers of human experience. Elon Musk's legacy extends beyond technology into these cultural and existential realms. His vision and leadership catalyzed a shift in humanity's trajectory, inspiring generations to pursue bold innovation tempered by ethical responsibility and compassion. The neural lace story illustrates the power of visionary ideas to transcend their origins and shape a collective future. The chapter concludes by inviting readers to reflect on their role in this ongoing transformation. Neural lace is a symbol of human potential, our capacity to imagine, create, and evolve. Its legacy challenges us to embrace change with courage, nurture connection with empathy, and honor the profound mystery of consciousness. Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. This story might just spark a new beginning. What's one lesson from neural lace's journey that resonates with you? With this invitation, the narrative closes, leaving open the door to new stories, new questions, and new possibilities born from the remarkable convergence of mind, machine, and humanity. Neural lace's impact on society, ethics, and global progress. The introduction of Elon Musk's neural lace technology marked a pivotal turning point not only in science and technology but in the very fabric of society. Delves deep into the far-reaching ripple effects that neural lace has had across global culture, ethics, governance, and human progress. This chapter explores how a single innovation catalyzed widespread change, sparking debates, inspiring new institutions, and reshaping humanity's collective future. Neural lace fundamentally altered communication by enabling instantaneous sharing of thoughts, feelings, and memories. This breakthrough dismantled traditional barriers of language, culture, and geography, forging a global community connected on a cognitive level. People from vastly different backgrounds could understand each other with unprecedented clarity and empathy, leading to a decline in conflicts driven by misunderstanding. However, this new form of connectivity also raised profound ethical questions about privacy, consent, and autonomy. The ability to access or share neural data demanded new frameworks of rights and protections. Governments, ethicists, and technologists collaborated to establish global standards that balanced innovation with human dignity. Neural lace accelerated education and knowledge dissemination. Learning shifted from passive absorption to active neural engagement, allowing individuals to absorb complex information quickly and intuitively. This democratization of knowledge empowered marginalized communities and helped bridge socioeconomic gaps. New educational institutions emerged, focused on cultivating not only intellectual capacity but emotional intelligence and ethical reasoning. In healthcare, neural lace revolutionized diagnosis and treatment. Real-time monitoring of neural health enabled early intervention, reducing the prevalence of neurological diseases and mental health disorders. Personalized neural therapies tailored to individual brain patterns enhanced effectiveness, transforming patient care. Mental health stigma declined as neural connectivity fostered deeper understanding and support networks. The workforce evolved as well, with neural lace enabling new forms of collaboration and creativity. Jobs that required complex problem-solving, empathy, and innovation flourished. Automation handled routine tasks, freeing humans to focus on areas where cognitive augmentation offered unique value. This shift prompted re-evaluation of economic models and social safety nets to ensure inclusive prosperity. Politically, neural lace empowered citizens by facilitating direct, real-time participation in governance. Decision-making processes became more transparent and inclusive, reducing corruption and enhancing accountability. Yet, concerns about cognitive manipulation and surveillance persisted, necessitating vigilant oversight and ethical guardrails. Philosophically, neural lace challenged long-held beliefs about selfhood, free will, and consciousness. As minds intertwined and memories merged, humanity confronted fundamental questions about individuality and collective identity. New spiritual movements emerged, blending ancient wisdom with technological insight to explore these frontiers. Environmental stewardship benefited from neural lace-enhanced collaboration and foresight. Collective intelligence helped coordinate global responses to climate change, biodiversity loss, and resource management. Neural lace enabled real-time monitoring of ecosystems and human impact, fostering sustainable practices grounded in shared responsibility. The chapter also highlights stories of communities and individuals navigating this transformed world, embracing opportunities, grappling with dilemmas, and crafting new narratives of meaning and purpose. Elon Musk's vision continued to inspire innovation grounded in ethical reflection and social good, illustrating the power of technology as a catalyst for holistic human progress. Ultimately, the ripple effect of neural lace extends beyond its technical capabilities. It embodies humanity's enduring quest to transcend limitations, deepen connection, and create a better world. This chapter invites readers to consider their own role in this ongoing journey, how they might contribute to shaping a future where technology and humanity flourish together. Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. What do you think is the most important ethical challenge neural lace presents? With this call to engagement, the story emphasizes that the future remains unwritten, shaped by collective choices and shared vision inspired by the neural lace legacy. Navigating identity, emotion, and connection in the age of neural lace. As neural lace technology became deeply woven into the fabric of daily life, society faced profound questions about what it truly means to be human. This chapter delves into the emotional and psychological transformations individuals experienced, exploring how identity, relationships, and connection evolved in an age where minds could link seamlessly through technology. Neural lace offered unprecedented cognitive enhancements, but it also challenged core human experiences, memories, emotions, personal boundaries, and invited a re-examination of individuality. Users grappled with balancing the influx of shared knowledge and neural data with maintaining a distinct sense of self. Stories emerged of individuals who embraced neural connectivity as a pathway to deeper empathy and creativity, finding new ways to express their emotions and understand others. For some, neural lace opened doors to healing old wounds through shared experiences and collective support networks, fostering resilience and growth. However, the blending of minds also introduced complexities. People reported moments of sensory overload, emotional entanglement, and the blurring of personal and collective identities. Navigating these challenges required new social norms and psychological tools to maintain mental health and autonomy. The chapter explores how communities adapted by developing rituals, boundaries, and communication practices suited to this interconnected reality. Relationships, romantic, familial, and platonic, transformed as neural lace enabled partners to share feelings and thoughts instantaneously, deepening intimacy but also raising concerns about privacy and vulnerability. Families redefined connection across distances and generations, often experiencing renewed closeness through shared neural experiences. At the same time, the technology sparked debates about consent and emotional authenticity in neural interactions. Educational systems incorporated emotional intelligence training tailored to neural lace users, emphasizing self-awareness, empathy, and ethical engagement. Mental health professionals developed specialized therapies addressing unique challenges posed by neural augmentation, blending neuroscience, psychology, and technology. Spirituality and philosophy experienced a renaissance as people sought meaning in an age of cognitive expansion. New schools of thought emerged, blending traditional beliefs with insights from neural lace experiences, exploring consciousness, interconnectedness, and the essence of the soul. The chapter highlights personal narratives illustrating the transformative power of neural lace on identity and emotion, stories of struggle, adaptation, and transcendence. Elon Musk's vision recognized that technology alone could not define humanity's future. The human element, our emotions, values, and connections, remain central to navigating this brave new world. The chapter closes by emphasizing that while neural lace reshaped cognition and communication, it ultimately amplified the timeless human quest for understanding, belonging, and love. Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. How do you think neural lace could change the way we experience relationships and emotions? This invitation invites readers to reflect on their own humanity in the face of technological transformation, reminding us that at the heart of innovation lies the enduring power of the human spirit. How neural lace wove cultures, nations, and dreams together. As neural lace technology permeated societies worldwide, its impact transcended individual enhancement and entered the realm of global transformation. This chapter explores how neural lace acted as a catalyst for weaving a complex tapestry of cultures, nations, and collective aspirations into a more interconnected and harmonious global community. From the bustling streets of New York to the serene villages of rural India, neural lace bridged divides of language, tradition, and history. Instantaneous neural communication enabled people from vastly different backgrounds to share experiences and ideas with unprecedented clarity and empathy. This cognitive connectivity nurtured a deeper appreciation of cultural diversity and fostered collaborations that transcended geopolitical boundaries. The chapter examines the rise of neural diplomacy, where leaders and citizens alike engaged in direct neural dialogues to resolve conflicts, negotiate agreements, and build trust. This novel form of diplomacy complemented traditional methods by fostering genuine understanding and emotional resonance, reducing misunderstandings that often escalated tensions. Educational institutions worldwide embraced neural lace as a tool for cross-cultural exchange. Students participated in immersive, shared learning experiences that combined language acquisition with direct emotional and cultural immersion. This approach cultivated global citizenship, equipping new generations with the empathy and knowledge necessary to navigate a complex, interconnected world. Economic globalization took on new dimensions as neural lace-enabled collaboration accelerated innovation and entrepreneurship across borders. Startups and established enterprises alike tapped into a global neural network, pooling creativity and expertise to solve pressing challenges, from climate change to poverty, with collective intelligence. However, the chapter does not shy away from challenges. It addresses concerns about cultural homogenization and the risk that dominant cultures might overshadow local traditions. Efforts to preserve and celebrate cultural uniqueness intensified, supported by neural lace platforms that archived languages, rituals, and histories, making them accessible globally while respecting community sovereignty. The chapter also explores how neural lace empowered marginalized voices, providing platforms for indigenous peoples, minority groups, and remote communities to participate fully in global dialogues. This inclusion enriched the global tapestry, ensuring diverse perspectives informed collective decisions and innovations. Social movements gained new momentum through neural lace networks, enabling rapid mobilization around shared values and causes. Environmental activism, human rights advocacy, and humanitarian efforts leveraged cognitive connectivity to coordinate actions and amplify impact. The narrative highlights inspiring stories of global solidarity and grassroots innovation emerging from this interconnectedness. Elon Musk's role in fostering international collaboration through neural lace initiatives emphasized shared human aspirations and responsibilities. His vision embraced technology as a unifying force, inviting humanity to co-create a future where differences are strengths and dreams converge into collective progress. The chapter concludes by inviting readers to imagine their place in this vast, evolving global tapestry. Neural lace is portrayed not merely as technology but as a bridge, linking minds, hearts, and hopes across continents and cultures. Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. What's one way you think neural lace could help bring the world closer together? With this, the story invites ongoing reflection and participation in shaping a future woven from the rich threads of human diversity and unity. Hit subscribe and leave a comment with where you're watching from. This story might just spark a new beginning. What's one thing that always pushes you forward, even when things get tough?